Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be joined by Maiya Quandah-Breed. This is the last of our February lives. So it's Friday night, we're going to have some more fun, some more games, some more quizzes with Maiya. Maiya's going to be joining us very, very soon. So if you've got any questions to ask Maiya, here she comes. Maiya's just coming on.
Hello.
How are you? You right?
Hello. How are you? Sorry, I'm just going to a really dark one.
Playing a bit of Airs and Graces. I was playing a bit of intro music just to get us in the mood. How you been?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Difficult day, obviously, spending time with family and that. But yeah, just glad to be back home and with family. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. I've just been. I went to the tip today. Nothing really exciting. Went to the tip.
Oh, okay.
That's it, really. Yeah, I just went to the tip, tidied my house.
That's all right. Are you? Oh, okay. So normal, like everyday sort of stuff. That's cool.
Yeah.
Are you doing? You still doing your house, like the renovation and stuff like that, or?
I've only got one more room, but pretty much, touch wood and everything, everything's done. We've pretty much done everything we want to do, so I'm very happy with how it turned out.
It's so cool because it's good, like you're taking advantage of lockdown, like just doing stuff. Like we've got so much time. We're just gifted with this, isn't it?
Oh yeah, like I'm having a ball of a time. I do feel bad saying that though, because like, I appreciate that lockdown is a very, very hard time, and like I did not enjoy it in the first instance, but this lockdown's just been so different, and I've just really enjoyed it because I've obviously got time to spend time in the house, which I wouldn't have been able to do. So it's been great.
That's good. Someone's just asked when are you going to get a blue tick? We're all campaigning.
Alex, this is a running joke now. This is
blue tick's coming.
This is my boyfriend, and he always blue tick me. Am I right?
Yes, Alex. Thanks for joining us, and good to see you, Olivia. Well, obviously we're gonna. What's that? We're gonna play a few games. We're gonna have some like quizzes. You've got a game for me as well. I don't know what's coming up.
I'll say that I'm gonna get my laptop out because I emailed it myself. So
okay. I literally I just threw together. We're gonna play like finish the lyrics. So there might be like there'll probably be a few that you know already because we've sung it like religiously. For the last 10 months. But before that, let's talk about songs. So you sing the character Sophia, that's the character you play, and you've got Airs and Graces. So start off with that one. How do you enjoy that song? What does that song mean to you?
Airs and Graces, it's kind of like the beginning of, I'm not saying the beginning of Sophia's journey, but it's her it's kind of like her like starting this, right, okay, I'm jumping into this different part of my life. That's me. She's not questioning her airs and graces. Don't let anybody else question them. This is the most like, right, okay, I've built this up. I'm ready to do this. This is her like start of the journey. But I mean like start of the journey in not in that sense. You mean like she's not like born and this is the beginning. It's
day one.
It's her starting this part of the journey, and she's telling you from the beginning how it's going. Like, don't question my airs and graces. Don't question my intentions. Like, I know exactly what I'm doing. So
she's quite a strong character that moment, isn't it?
I think it's a very strong character moment because, in a sense, that's probably one of the most vulnerable. I know the other songs, but it's a vulnerable state to be in, to admit that you. Do you know what I mean? This is who I am. These are my flaws. This is what I've got. And I'm gonna give it to the Lord regardless whether you like it or not. I think that's a very brave and very like honourable thing to do.
Yeah, it's funny she starts off like that, but then she goes on a little journey, isn't it? Because it becomes a heighten, and that's like one of the most kind of popular songs. That when we did that quiz, I think Andrew was saying what was the favourite songs, and what does heighten mean to you at that moment? Is it you feel crumbled? Is it quite a song that you feel you're a bit more confident?
Heightened is one of those songs where for me it just like a piece of your soul like leaves you when you sing it. Do you know what I mean? like not only vocals, are lost somewhere in Rogue Studios. I don't know where they've gone. I lost them last
They're
night.
there. They're in North London, mate.
They're in North London somewhere after Heightened, but that it's just one of those songs where like you can feel it like in the pit of your stomach, like no matter how you relate to it, regardless whether it be like I'm heightened to do this, I'm heightened to do that. It is one of those. It's I want to say it's like it is a bit of an I song because it is like I'm heightened, it's heightened, but you use it in so many contexts of like your state of mind, if that makes sense. So like you're heightened in your vulnerability, you're heightened in your happiness, you're heightened. I feel like it's whatever you can take away from it. I think different people probably take different messages away from that song because I know I definitely do. When I've visited it, I find something different in it, and I think that's just of like singing a song. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah. Wow. Oh, someone just said heightened isn't a song, it's a spiritual experience. Yes, well,
you are so right, sis. You are so right. It is a spiritual.
Like you're going into a different plane. It's like you have to shift. Like when you start the song in one place and then you end it. Even when I'm playing it, I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to the next key change, the next one, the next one.
We're going there. We are going there.
Okay, we'll talk about I and Stand in a bit because I know you've got a personal connection to I. But should we start off with like finish the lyrics, or do you want to test me first? Which one do you want to go?
Let me do you first, but I've just got, for some reason, my laptop's having a meltdown, so I'm just going to log into my iCloud. Because I prepared these questions, so I want to ask you them. Let's see.
Okay. Is it cases related, or is it?
It's not cases related, it's just like live, but like, I think I threw some.
Oh. So basically, guys, this is like Maiya, like paying me back.
My fault, it's all down. No, down back. So you know when like your phone is connected to your laptop, so it goes like.
I hate that moment. Literally, like, are you gonna like pay me back for all the times I've been like, let's do it again?
Again, yeah, I actually am getting you back.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Can we do that? Can we do that by that bar?
But I'm like this.
That's literally me.
What makes me laugh is like when we're in the studio, like in December, and I'd sing something, like, smash that, and you'd be like, "Oh, mate, it's just the wrong rhythm," and I'm like, "What?"
I gave my life in that moment.
Yeah, I could not get it right. I remember that one bit over and over and over.
Oh, was it? Was it in Stand? No, Stand. I think you knocked Stand out of the park. I think.
It was Airs and Graces. It was the don't push, don't cross the line. I was going like, don't push, don't cross. I don't even know what I was doing because I can't even do it now.
Oh, you were doing don't push, don't cross the line, and I was like,
don't push, don't cross the line. Oh, it
was like 7. It was like 7
takes. Like clapping at me from the booth. Like I was like,
the joys of recording. You can do it so many times.
Oh, and the amount of times I was like, can I just do that bit in isolation? And
yeah,
I'm like, no, awful again.
Oh, that was the one. Okay, I'm ready for these questions, Clara.
These are my 10 quick fire questions for you, Dominic Powell. Okay.
Ready? I think so.
Okay. Luther Vandross or Whitney Houston?
Whitney.
Ooh. Cake or chocolate?
Cake.
Spaghetti or pasta?
It's pasta.
Jazz or R&B?
R&B.
Shawshank or Green Mile?
Shawshank.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
Summer or winter?
Oh, summer. Yeah.
Flowers or plants?
Say that again?
Flowers or plants?
Plants.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think plants, yeah.
Piano or drums?
Piano.
Night in or night out?
Night in, yeah.
Train or tube?
Tube, all the way. Tube. I'm like, yeah, I can't do trains. I just want to just like be down, just go somewhere quick.
No way.
Yeah, just don't look at me, newspaper. No, joking. I don't mind trains. I don't mind trains, but I just prefer tube, the speed of it. And you know me, I'm like a A to B guy.
Yeah, direct. You got to get where you go. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I do think though when it comes to certain stations, there needs to be like 2 lanes. There should just be like a fast lane and like a slow, or like when you're the Piccadilly and there's like suitcases and you're like, guys, come on, let's move.
I don't mind the tube. I don't mind it. However, I've got my favourite lines. I don't know about you.
Should we do it? Should we do it?
Yeah.
Because for me, Victoria is like the one.
So I like the Victoria because it's always clean. So, however, the one time I've got this really nasty story, so I might just like save that for a rainy day.
Yeah.
It was just someone with hygiene, and I was just like, you're so taken aback by what they're doing. You just don't. You in your right mind at that time, you would say something, but I was so dumbfounded at what this person was doing.
But yeah.
In Victoria line, I was
shocked. The shock. Yeah, the shock.
I think
wow.
The Northern, because I get that the most often, and it's always. I've got to say, anytime I've got the Northern, it's been reliable. The Victoria, nice, short, sweet, gets you to where you are going.
This is it. Across London as well, like south to north, like it's just brilliant. I love it. Quick.
Yeah, nice and quick, not too many stops. And I think not that I get on it often, but I like the size and the how much carriage there is. I like the Circle line or not reliable. It's never reliable.
No.
It's not whatsoever. But I like the train. I wish they were all like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the thing. I like the space of it. It's just the route.
The space. Yeah, the route. District can go to hell. District is the worst.
District shouldn't really exist. Really, it should just be in another country, shouldn't it? Like I just don't get it.
The worst. And what tube stop has like 40 or 50 stations?
Yeah. Why would you have more? Like literally, like from like Monument to like in back, or there's like one. It's like I can actually. It might be quicker for me to walk than to be on the tube. Like I'm like
always Earl's Court. Well, always Earl's Court.
Oh my gosh! I'm just having all these comments. So we've got Northern Line is superior, and Anna's like, yeah, totally agree with that. I'm on like the Northern Jubilee. I'm kind of in between. Central is the worst. It's just hot.
Central is like the Central is too darn hot. Too darn hot. It is too darn hot on the Central.
Oh my gosh, too much. And then Bakerloo. Bakerloo is Bakerloo's the oldest one, so it's been around for about 150 years.
And I can tell it needs an upgrade. Let me upgrade.
Yes.
That is what it needs. The Bakerloo line. A polish.
Totally. And DLR. I'm on the DLR like vibe. I'm on that. I'm getting it. I haven't done it a few times, but I'm kind of liking it. It reminds me because we've got the tram in Croydon, so it's kind of similar to that. Like just kind of short and sweet. And yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I don't mind the DLR. I don't get it often. But I don't mind it. It's always quite spacious, very airy. No one's bothering you. There's no you get the fare. And I do get the fare on the DLR only because if those ticket people come round, I have always on my phone. How do I prove to them apt?
You know, sometimes they've got this barcode, so they put their machine over it and then it like beeps. But then one time I thought, it's going to be green. And then it was red. And I was like, no, it does. And then I had to get my bank card and prove that. I then had to log into my Oyster account and then prove that like my contactless card. I was like, nah, never again. Never again. Stick to Oyster.
I do get the first times. So, because I Apple Pay everything.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not the only one who does, because you've always got your phone on you. It's not always guaranteed you're going to have your purse on you. So it's Apple Pay, contactless, everything.
I can't believe we're actually talking about tubes and Apple. But yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to
cases. Should we finish the lyrics? Should we do it? Should we go for it? Are you ready? I think I've lost it. Where is it? Oh, here we go. So can you hear me calling for the me I used to be, see, or want?
B.
Oh, thank goodness.
Used to be.
That's from I. That's from I, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Waterfalls came and they saved me, rescued me, or grabbed me.
Save me.
Rescued me, that one.
Oh, see, do you know what I've done?
Hey, when they rescued. Shout out to Bobby.
I done a double guess myself there because I was singing
Nah,
it in
always go with the gut. Always go with the gut.
and the gut said me and the brain. Do you know what? Always listen to your gut, guys.
I think you'll probably know this one. Time passes by when you darken your vision, your ambitions, or your horizons.
Your horizons
Uh,
take
it's
with the
I
light.
think
Sparks of vision.
so. Basically, guys,
Succeed.
we've got like a gender swap coming up.
Watch this space, everyone.
Watch this space.
Hey, Dr. Show.
Yeah. I'm actually not going to give you any multiple choice for this because you should know this. So I'm heightened. I'm heightened to tell a different
Story.
And then with ranging forces to break our lateral pause, our lateral thoughts, or our lateral courts.
Our lateral thoughts.
Yeah, I thought I'd put the courts in there because it's like cases just a little bit thick. We'll do one more. Oh, which one should I do? You have to let your garden grow. Let your planted thoughts run wide, while, or wild.
Wild.
Yeah, let your planted thoughts, let creativity flow, guys. That's it. Well done. You smashed it.
I sing is my absolute fave.
It's like five.
Like my top 5 songs of all time. I just love it so much.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind. No, it was one of the first ones. I think I've said this every live, but yeah, it started with heightened and let your garden grow, and I was like grabbing stuff from the past, writing some new stuff, and then it all bubbled up. And then, but without those 2 songs, we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have met you.
I know.
So we met last year February. On the 20th.
It was January. It was the
January. Oh my gosh.
I think it was the 7th of January.
Yeah, it was like the last Monday.
Yeah.
Because I remember we had our photo shoot later that week. You were in the mix, like high. Mm-hmm. And we were like, we want to get Maiya. And then we were doing, of course we were like, and then we were doing something at the other palace. We were doing a podcast, and basically, what's your favorite song on the soundtrack? We'll come back to that. And I think it was 7:30, just before we were going to go live or record the podcast at 8. I called your agent, and we were like, if Maiya can come down on Wednesday and we can get all the contracts done, she's got the role. And literally 2 hours later at 9:30, in the interval of doing the podcast, I walked out, confirmed everything. It was a crazy night. Can you remember that?
Yeah, you rang me. I remember because and David called me, and it was really late, and usually after 6 o'clock I never get any calls. They would never contact me after 6, and it was it was like 7:30, 8 o'clock when he messaged me, and he was like, oh, I've passed on your number, I hope you don't mind, Dom's gonna ring you later. And I was like, oh right, okay. So I was thinking, oh, maybe I don't know, in half an hour. My man rings me at 10 o'clock, so sorry, just got out of it, can you come down on Wednesday? I was like, I'll be there.
That was probably the most Dominic thing, 10 o'clock, sorry.
I was there waiting by my phone like this.
Oh no, I was trying to promote cases.
Yeah, I know.
It was good. We did the photo shoot, and then we started rehearsals, then we did theatre cafe, then you went to Thailand, was it?
I did go to Thailand. I literally came down. We had like 2-3 days of rehearsals, did theatre
Yeah.
cafe. I went on the Friday, then I went to Thailand on the Tuesday.
Wow. So quick. And then on the day you came back, we found out that.
Yeah, you rang me on
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
got like I was sat in the car with my mum. We just got back from the airport. Jack had just taken my stuff inside, and you called me, and I was sat in the car. And then you were the one like, yeah, it's not going. And I literally was like, as if I've just like landed in the UK, obviously, because I knew nothing. I did not know what was going on. Do you remember me putting that message in the group chat, like, so when's rehearsals tomorrow?
Yeah.
And you were like,
It was like I didn't want. It's the worst. It can be the best and the worst position being produced. When you've worked on something, you're producing it. It's like it's great because then you can get a good relationship with the cast. But then you're also like the bearer of bad news.
yeah.
So I was like, I can either wait till like 12 o'clock or 1 when May is settled in, and then like but then you might see tweets, then you might get a bit panicky, and I'm all about mental health and anxiety. So I was like, let me call Maiya first thing, which is hard, but like eventually we'll, just kind of let you know first thing. But it was such a strange day, wasn't it? Just that whole time period.
Because I remember like when I was on holiday, it was the Monday, and because we were 7 hours in front, I was like getting everything obviously at my local time. It was like 4 a.m. in the morning, and I remember we're on the island, we're in Koh Phangan, and my boyfriend woke up just randomly to go to the toilet, and turned and looked at his phone, and literally on his phone it was one of our flights had been cancelled, just all these news things, text off his mum and dad, everything. Then I looked at my phone and it was just chaos. It was like the Broadway's closing down. It was talk that the West End was going to close down. There was messages on our chat. It was just chaos. I remember, and then as if like one of our flights has been cancelled. The Broadway's just closed. West End's now just closed, as it was like 2 days later, and I've just lost my job. I was literally like, what is going on? It was just so wild. Like nothing can prepare you for that. I just didn't even know what was happening. Because as well, in Thailand, everything was fine. That was the weirdest. Coming back, honestly, we stopped off in Munich, and it was like an apocalyptic world. I was terrified. Everything was wrapped in bubble wrap. There was killing film everywhere, and there was people in hazmats. And I was like, I was on a beach in a bikini 2 hours ago.
Wow.
Like, what is this about? Well, not 2 hours ago. Like, I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah. I know it was a dramatic change, literally, and then like we had cases. April, we had other things lined up. Like we were just ready for this epic year, and then it was like pulled from us. And I just remember that. Like, how did you survive during like the next few months and going into just before like October, before you found out about the album and things?
I personally really struggled. I really, 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 really struggled in lockdown the first time. Just because I think it was the first time ever. I say ever, but in the first time in like 5 years, because my life has been so much of like a hamster wheel. Like I was in this ball and I'm running, and the hamster wheel just stops. There was no gradual wind down. It just stopped. And it was the time where I had to spend time with myself. And I know that sounds silly because obviously I'm living within my own body. You get wrapped up in your thoughts. You start to just self-deprecate, basically. And when I was busy, I didn't have time to do that. I didn't have time to think about numero uno. I didn't. And from like a selfish point of view, maybe it's like good I had that, because now I've come out on the other side. Now, don't get me wrong, I know my flaws. I know I am not faultless, but like stand up now and say I'm happy. Do you know what I mean? Like last year, I wasn't happy. I had a very unsettled soul during lockdown, and stand here, I feel like, don't get me wrong, I've still got demons. I don't know who doesn't, but I feel like I'm breaking the chains. I'm not as in the place I was last year, like nowhere near. Like, and I said it today. I was speaking to Amy, and I said like I have changed completely as a person. I didn't think that was possible because I'm 23. I thought I'd got to my point. I've made my case. You know what I mean? I am who I am. And I'm very much still learning. I'm still much growing. I'm still not this fully formed mold of a human being that I thought I was when I was 18 years old. I have changed so much. And last year, if anything, it's been a lesson. So as much as I've shunned it, it has been a lesson, and it has been in a time in my life that I wouldn't want to relive. Especially from like end of March to like June. It's definitely
yeah.
I would like to relive, because it just like I feel like this lockdown's been different in the sense that like all the other ones I've heavily lost something, and in this, not saying I've lost anything, but the way I've dealt with things have been different, because I'm hardened from what happened last year. So I've come out on the other side, and like I said, don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean I haven't like lost anything or gone through anything during this lockdown. I've just had a different outlook, and no one can teach you outlook, can they? It's something you learn.
You just have to, yeah.
You no, go on.
I was going to say, it's so interesting you saying about like your soul and like feeling like you had to, like you had a like sort of like a fractured soul, or things weren't together. And now like you feel whole. Like I personally was just in those first 3 months, I was broken, because I'm doing project and the next project, or the next 3 projects, or then, as you know, and do now with cases and everything, and got the road to prominence coming up. Like that's just my life, but I'd had nothing. So I was like, who is Dominic? Who is Dominic Powell? Like, so songs like like when I was like looking back at it, I was like, let me listen to that song, or like it's so deep, like that whole period, and it's so good to see that you've come through it with like shining colours, and you're making decisions.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'll never like go through things again. Like, don't get me wrong, I think in the short 23 years that I've had my fair share of peaks and troughs, but who hasn't? And last trough, I can tell you that for free. But like, I'm great. Like, I'm healthy. It was sun shining. Like, I had good people around me. Like, I can't complain in that sense. It was me that was the poison to myself, if that makes sense. It wasn't anything around me. It was circumstance, but it was me, and I didn't ever blame anybody else for that. I knew that I had my own things that I had to dissect, and that's the thing as well, like having to turn the barrel on yourself sometimes, and having to look at yourself is sometimes you don't always have time to do, and you don't want to do. Ultimately, you don't want to do it, because who wants
and like, I'm okay, maybe I'll deal with that in a bit. Like,
you suppress, and the thing about suppression, I tell you now for free, you suppress, and it is going to bubble, and it is going to erupt, and the eruption is horrendous. It's horrendous. So and as hard, like I have this thing where like I find it really hard to speak, weirdly, because I can't shut up. But say the sense of like, it's like the cat's got my tongue. When I come to say things, sometimes it's like I physically can't get the words out of my mouth. So like an interesting thing that I've learned about myself, to be like, right, okay, Maiya, start speaking, because your voice is important, and your feelings are just as valid as somebody else's. And I've learned the hardest way.
Wow.
But I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
And it's step by step. Like, you might not be able to like cry, or like, I mean, I really don't want to keep promoting the album, but literally Waterfalls was that song. Like, I wanted to cry, but I never knew how to cry. I didn't know how to speak about it. I was 16 or 18, and I had this image of what a guy should be, but it's taken now what? I'm not going to ruin my age, but a few years later, several years later, and like now, like the actual another decade. But like there's like journeys, and like then you have layers. So then that wall breaks down, and then the next wall breaks down, and then you can cry for an hour, or you can then talk to this person, or you can lean on that shoulder. And it's like it might not be like all at once that you will just be able to heal. Like, it's a process, and you have to kind of trust the process. So it's bit by bit. I'll be remiss not to ask a few questions. Hi from Poland. It's so good to see you join in.
All the questions have stopped for me, so just keep me posted on what they're saying, because it's great.
So we got Anas, thank you. The Theatre Cafe was so special. Thank you so much. Do listen, Ivor Hurricane. It's so good that you've joined us. Someone said, what is your favourite song from the album? For me, I don't have a favourite song, but one at the moment I'm liking is Spaces. Like I love like, because I tried to do a demo of it and it just didn't work with my own voice. So hearing all the different voices, like I'm like Logic or something, or like my Audacity, it's just but hearing all the voices together and that epic thing, it's kind of nice. And we did a few like R&B. We got some measures and beats from like other R&B songs and manipulated it and did some really cool stuff. So that's one favorite at the moment. How about you?
Spaces is one of the hardest songs, genuine. Like, I mean, like technically to sing and to do for you, like you are giving yourself it's a beast, that song. And the beat from that song is so vast and so great because when you get to the end, you're like, wow, I feel liberated after that song. It is one of those songs.
That's so cool.
Oh,
I think I know what you're saying.
Replaces. Hilarious though. Can't believe you outed it like that. So helpful.
I tried to get this. I was like, hey! Oh my god! And then I tried to do this like, but it came out like. So funny. Mikey was like, "Don't be getting that. Pull that over to Replaces."
Oh yeah, he was actually like having a great time over here. Like,
oh, Mikey was loving it. Next question. I know. Have you got a favourite?
Let My Garden Grow. That's just my all-time.
Is that it?
Thing. Yeah.
Oh, bless. Yeah. We did some like cool like atmospheric sounds, but on Monday, guys, have a look, and there are going to be some new videos about how we compose some of those extra sounds with Mikey. Ooh. What's this space? If you know the lines, what's your favourite line? I've burned hope and strive in its fumes.
Ooh.
That's one of my favourites at the moment.
I you. Is that okay?
Go for it. I
have a few. So one of my favourites is in Hoi Polloi when he says, I got the explosion over, cover. What do you
I've gone. I'm not going to say. I've gone through the darkness. I've bumped into
realness.
Yeah. Through the darkness, I've bumped into realness. I've tasted true success.
Yeah.
And forced to be silent. That's it. To sing it.
Yeah, that's one of my favourites. And obviously my favourite line ever. Ignite, time passes by as on your horizon. And also another one out of that is if at first you don't succeed, pick yourself up and try again. Okay. That is, I think I'm going to get tattooed across my back because it's just one of my favourites. And I think Me, Myself and I Will Be Strong Together.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's like that whole like section of I is my favourite.
Oh, that's so good. And we were literally just talking about that as well, like the different parts of us like coming together, like being whole and everything. That's so special. How did this go from a rant about shoes to an inspirational speech? I don't know, but we just let it flow.
This is how we are. We're just rolling with the punches.
We're just gonna, How do you feel about 21st of June? I am buzzing. I'm ready to hug like all my family and everyone I see and just get a drink and go out and just live my best life. That's how I feel. How about you?
I'm not on a like I'm in a space where like it's changed. So on Monday I went and I met my boyfriend and the news came out and he was like saying, oh, this one theatre's going to open and things like that, and I was like, it kind of dawned on me for the first time. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is how we've lived for like so long now, and I'm gonna have to like go back into this like new territory of a world, and I'm not gonna have an excuse anymore to stay in my house. Like, I'm not joking. But I was just like, what if I don't have anything to look forward to? Like, what if the things that I look forward to get taken from me again? And Jack was like, oh, like, don't think of it like that. Like, smile and show me all your teeth, because he says that to me all the time. And I was smiling like this. But like things have changed since then, because obviously like day by day things change. But Like my
Yeah.
perception on it has changed. Because I'm like, do you know what, May? You can't, like, you will have things to look forward to. Like right now,
Totally.
right now, what you think is going to change. So I am excited because obviously there's so many places that I've still like yet to see. There's so many people that I've not been able to see in like a year because, and every single time it's, oh, once this is over, we'll see each other. So, and obviously I've got friends all over the country and all across the world, and yeah, it would just be nice to reconnect with people, and instead of seeing them over Zoom, because I'm sick to the back teeth of Zoom.
I'm zoomed out. I'm zoomed
I'm
out,
sick.
May. Like, I literally, like, I can't deal with it. Like, I need to have a lesson or just have a rehearsal in person with people. Like, come on, people. Oh my, yes, it's almost 1 year since the Theatre Cafe performance. That's so true.
Oh my gosh, it
Like,
is.
because it was
It would have been around this time.
yeah, it was around this time, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
maybe a couple of weeks. Wow, that's gone quickly.
Very.
Replaces is the best. Fact, it is. It is literally. If you could be, all these questions we've got. Okay, we've got maybe like 5 more minutes. So, if you could be any other character, who would you be? Quick fire.
As in, like, cases wise, Dr. Folk.
I'm assuming so. I'm assuming. Okay,
Dr. Folk.
Yeah, yeah. How is it like for y'all to be a part of this musical? For me, it's like life just very, very humbling because it's just been able to see my own experiences be performed by a West End cast and put it all together. It's very, very special to me. It's one of my first pieces that I've ever been put. So for me, it's humbling to be part of this experience for me. How about you?
It's definitely, like, I was going to use the word humble. It's definitely humbling to me to be entrusted with telling your story, and
Ah,
you allowing me to share your words and share your songs and melodies that have all come from the genius brain that you have. It's so nice to be able to, and to be able to do the album as well. Like, just even speaking about the album has just been like so surreal. Like that day that it got released, I was running around my house like a madman. Because I've the joy I felt, honestly, like I can't even tell you, because I was like, it's out there, it's finally
no,
out there, and
and it's
people are,
there.
I was like, people are finally getting to see what I've been raving about for a year, and like finally
Yeah.
celebrate you and your work. Like, it's not about me, like it's the fact that you've
Uh,
given me the opportunity to do your work, and that it's not about me, it's all about you, and to be able to do that is just, yeah,
yeah.
incredible.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's just collaboration. It's all good. Like, thank you, thank you, thank you for telling my story.
No,
It's
thank
so cool.
you.
Do you think songs would be better suited to perform the vast space or intimate space? Hmm. We are Cases is very malleable. There are 4 cast members. We were planning it in the other palace in the studio, but we've also, got lots of different plans. So, because it is about life and experiences, and if you listen to Interlude One, you might think of war. If you think of Cases, think of Charge, you might be a courtroom. So there's lots of different larger spaces that can kind of that are, what am I trying to say? There's lots of large spaces that will be suited to Cases, or quite small.
Yeah,
So you have to watch this space to see what
I
we do with it.
agree. Yeah, watch this
Um,
faces.
what's this? I can't think you just did that. I didn't even do that.
You
I
walk
love it.
straight into that one, all right?
I know. Okay, very last question is, did your experience with the first lockdown change what your favorite Cases song is? It didn't for me. It just made me look at the songs in a different light. Like for me, I sadly lost my granddad a couple weeks ago, several weeks ago, and uh, hearing some of the songs about loss, about journeying through life, it brought a new perspective. Or being isolated when I have no access to things and I am under pressure. I actually know what being heightened means now. I thought I knew what being heightened was at the time, but now I'm like, okay, I've actually lost everything. I have no money, I have no income. So I think it's not necessarily changing favorite songs, but it's more like re-evaluating things, and family is so important. So just spending time with family has been really, really cool, and it's definitely changed the way that I see Cases and the way I think I will relate my relationship with Cases forever, because I've actually experienced some deep, deep things in life now. So
Yeah.
yeah. How about you?
I agree. Like, not so that I love every song in Cases. I just do. But like one song, no, put you in. For one song, when we went into lockdown last year, the first 2 weeks of lockdown, I got back off holiday and 2 weeks in, my grandma passed away after an extremely, extremely long battle with Alzheimer's.
I'm so
And
sorry.
we never thought that, you never think that day's going to come. I never thought, I was like, I always knew in the back of my mind that one day it is, but no one prepares you for it. Like, I always thought that, like, I'm ready for it, but you never prepared for anybody to leave your life. And regardless of what capacity she was in it for the 10 years that she had it, she was still there. And it gave my purpose, it gave my granddad purpose, it gave us as a family, regardless of the state that she was in, she was our glue, the matriarch of our family. And she passed away. And I remember, I think it was like maybe like 3 or 4 or 5 weeks after, I can't even remember, it maybe been like 6 weeks after. I remember asking her to sing I on a live, and it was the first time that I properly sang. I feel like I lost my voice, not physically, but like the emotion had just taken it away. I didn't, there was no joy in singing. And for me, like, singing is what is my soul. It is such a part of me. It's as much as I breathe that I sing. That was the first time I'd like gone to open my mouth, and I wasn't like worried about the sound or anything like that, but the words completely changed. And I was very much at that time a body but no brain. Like, my brain was elsewhere. My shell was here, but I was elsewhere. And it was marrying that song with me, and it kind of like helped me build myself back together. And I thank you for that, because like, it's the power of music, isn't it? But the power of the words you wrote allowed me to rebuild myself through the grief and through the loss that I felt, like, because I lost a part of me as well.
Yeah.
And after I'd sang it, I was like, gosh, like, that's what I've been missing. That's what it feels like. So anytime I sing that song now, it's like a tiny bit of my soul just goes with it, but not goes with it, but just it. And I put it in that song very much so.
That is so special. Like, it's my gift to you. Like, I can't, to hear that it's been able to connect with your life and you've been able to go through it, it's super special. Super special.
Be calling for the me I used to be. And that, like, oh, I've even got goosebumps. Like,
no, literally, I was just, cause it was like,
that was me last year. I was calling out for this person that didn't exist anymore, that wasn't there. And I had to learn the person that I became through it all. And that song, I cannot even tell you how much helped me. And I know it, like, people say, oh, it helps me. Like, it really, really did. It was like therapy for me. And like, the experience was like therapy for me in the best way possible. Especially the album.
The album just cemented it all.
Album. That day,
oh God.
I swear, I'm telling you now, I'm not even lying, I left a vocal fold there. I left a vocal fold, genuinely.
Guys, so when it came to Stand, I was like, because usually we do that song like a tone lower, but I was like, Maiya was like, no, we're going to do it in the original key. We're going to do it in the original key. And that's F, like high F, like soprano, contrast, like all of that big. And Maiya, like, literally left her life. Like, there's a vocal fold, like, sitting like in Rogue Studios right now. And
like that.
Calling out, like, Maiya, come back. Well, just very lastly, let's finish on. Do you prefer tube or tram? That's the last question.
Oh, is someone asked that me?
Yeah, tube or tram?
I would probably say, in this instance, the tube, because it's quicker than.
Yeah.
Like, I do get anxiety sometimes when I actually think about being on the tube, because I'm underground, and I find that very like concerning. And wow, if I think about it too much, I start to have like an existential crisis. But the tram just frustrates me because it's so slow. So the tube, on this instance.
Crazy. Well, thank you so much for joining us, mate. I don't know, it's been like therapy. It's been like laughter and discussions. We've gone through every feel in this. It is an absolute pleasure to have you on the album and to work with you and Waylon and Bobby and Andrew. Like, you guys are so cool. So guys, you can download and stream Cases from any major music platform. Anywhere you can get Cases. It's available. We're going to be posting the lyrics. We've got some new canvases. We've got some behind the scenes coming out next week. So keep your eyes peeled. Like watch this space. And we've also got the Road to Prominence as well. The Road to Prominence, which is on Thesby. It's streaming now. So if you head over to Thesby, we've got money going to charity as well. We've got a lot of West End podcast performers celebrating Black musical theatre artistry. So feel free to jump over to Thesby and catch an exclusive performance from the cast on there. So once again, thank you so much for joining us, Maiya, and we'll speak soon. See ya, bye. Thanks for joining us, guys. See ya.